The Rose Bowl of racetracks. We call it NASCAR Sprint Cup action at Bristol Motor Speedway. Set for the restart. Kyle Busch leads him down, and on the bottom of the racetrack, the first car lap down, Dale Earnhardt Jr. was trying to hang there and couldn't quite as Busch, Edwards, and Gordon pull away.
He got caught sleeping just a little bit on that restart. Kyle Busch got a great start on him. But he's in the right spot. He's still in that lucky dog spot.
Yeah, Paul Menard, who we saw barely miss the 22 car on that last accident, he got the free pass, so he's back on the lead lap. Jeff Gordon's crew really stepped it up. He had dropped back to about 6th there, and they came out in 3rd spot. That was a great job by those guys.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., if you just joined our coverage and wondering why he is a lap down, a bit of a mistake on the start of the race.
Yeah, on the start of the race, you're not allowed to pass anybody either side before you cross the start-finish line, and Junior passed about 3 cars before they got the green flag was waving, but he was a little too anxious. The guys in front of him weren't going.
He treated this like a restart, which this would be legal if it was a restart, but on the initial start, like you said, you got to stay in line. And Junior gets quite a few spots, but he had to give them all back.
There's the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. He was involved in an incident on lap 26. Jimmy Johnson had contact, had to come down pit road for repair. There's the 48 car that spent time behind the wall. Jimmy Johnson now being shown 15 laps down in 33rd position. Here was lap 25. Jimmy Johnson watched the contact. Robbie Gordon.
Yeah, he was having some problems. He'd already had a little contact with the 09 of Sterling Marlin, and then he had a flat tire. And you see all these guys just trying to avoid Jimmy. They spent all that time. They lost most of these laps on pit road after this happened and getting it fixed, but he's been pretty competitive since.
So we have had 5 chasers, race drivers that are currently in the chase involved in incident tonight. You've heard Dale Earnhardt Jr. jumping the start. Jimmy Johnson with the flat tire, losing 15 laps. Jeff Burton has called it tonight, his 2nd DNF of the year. Casey Kane is off the racetrack still. He is being shown in 35th spot. Clint Boyer is the only one of those who's been able to get back on the track, among those in the accident, I should say. And the 07 car now being shown in 9th position. Here's the points shuffle.
Yeah, we see Boyer now back in the top 12 because he's racing his way back through there. Reagan's close, though. He's 11 points back.
Yeah, but let's give a call to Clint Boyer. He's doing a terrific job driving that race car that I know is not handling very well. Here we see David Reagan, who's sitting just outside that top 12. He's had a good night. This is a backup car. He crashed in qualifying yesterday, but he's come from 43rd to get himself in a position and keep himself in a position right now.
I talked to Jimmy Finnick, his crew chief, and they had to start last, like you said, and he said he was going to try to keep him out of trouble to at least halfway, and then they're just going to have to start racing. They're in a position they have to start racing.
Yeah, he's just in front of his Roush teammates there. You see Matt Kenseth, who has already had to get the free pass one time, and then Greg Biffle, who we're riding along with here. So Reagan's having a good run tonight.
They are in 13th and 14th. Right on with our Wrangler telemetry on board with Greg Biffle.
These guys really have to baby that throttle off the corner to keep the rear tires hooked up. And the more laps they put on the tires, the more they have to do that.
I think Greg's probably going to be a little disappointed with this run. I think he was expecting a little more out of his car tonight, and it just hasn't happened. See Matt Kenseth slide up, almost getting into the side of David Rudiman there. That's just a product of this racing.
Yeah, Rudiman being shown 1 lap down in 20th spot.
Kenseth made most of this lucky dog he got, this free pass. Once he got that, he's been pretty fast since.
Yeah.
44 cars there as well. Shannon.
Yeah, on that last pit stop, David Rudiman, they made some major adjustments to that car. Track bar, air pressure. Car still feels like it will not turn for David Rudiman. Really struggling with that car here today, guys.
David began the night with his career best start outside the front row, and I know a lot of us down in the garage here, he had high hopes that this might be his night to make some noise and maybe get that Cup victory.
Yeah, I know we talked to him in pre-race, and he just wasn't that confident in his car, that they were still struggling. This is exactly what they've been struggling with. Make that car turn in the center. Seems like every time they make it do that a little bit better, then he's so loose off that he can't go anywhere. So it's a problem that they're still working to try to fix.
Andy, there's Tony Raines in the 70 car. We haven't said much about Tony, but he has done a very nice job the last few weeks in that car, qualifying it and running well in race traffic.
Yeah, this is his kind of racetrack. He's a short track racer, and I really like his style. He keeps the car out of trouble, still runs hard. You see here, even in this tight spot, he's using a lot of patience. It'll pay off well here at this racetrack.
11th position, David Reagan, that we were just talking about, from where he started. Shotgun on the field in the backup car, going by the 5-time Bristol winner, Kurt Busch, for position.
Like I said, that's what Jimmy Finnick said to me, that they were going to get to halfway and try to stay out of trouble, then start racing these guys hard, because they don't have a choice. They've only got a couple of races to try to drive into this chase, and they're just going to have to go. They're just going to go for it.
Jimmy Finnick, how much of an asset is that when you got someone like Finnick that can make those calls for David Reagan? I mean, what a difference he has made.
Yeah, he's made a huge difference in that young man. Having a young driver like that and having that experience there helping you out, that's just a huge advantage.
Young drivers, well, can't get much better than a 23-year-old in that car right there. Kyle Busch showing the way here at Bristol.